Okay, I'm not here to say I know everything about everything under the sun because I'm not God. I can't go back in time and tell Adam and Eve to not eat off the fruit in the tree in the Garden of Eden. That's not possible. There is no man on earth that can do that. I'm not God in that I personally didn't write or consider the Book of Ruth. That's not my job. I'm someone in the 21st century. I didn't write the Book of Ruth. So, um, if you read the Book of Ruth, you will find some things in there about in-laws. Okay, clearly, it's a story about in-laws. You can't miss it. Um, it says in there something unique. It says, okay, let me find the Bible verse. Just a minute. Okay, in verse chapter 1, verse 14, it says, "And they lift up their voice and wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her." Okay, so we know the other stories that these are in-law conditions, and I don't know how old the mother-in-law was or any of that. I Have you ever heard of a mother-in-law that was younger than the daughter-in-law? Okay, it only exists sometimes in various ways, you know? It is. Okay. But here it says there are two females, and Orpah kissed her mother in law, but Ruth clave unto her. So that's female care, right? Okay. If you go back in time, the Moabites, which is of Ruth, so Naomi returned to Ruth the Moabites. Okay, those were a descendant of Lot from Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. So I just told you that there were female and female kiss right there. Does that mean that that's promoting same-sex um, sexuality? Okay, they don't. They're not Jewish. They don't care. No, it doesn't sound like this is the case. Okay. Um, it doesn't sound like that's any sort of sin issue of any form. Okay. Most people who are completely conservative Bible believing Christians, like totally sold out for hating same sex love, are absolutely missing this Bible verse. And they're gonna find out that a full Bible actually does include positive aspects of same sex love. But um, here's the thing: if you're in a family and you're married and a sister-in-law ends up with cancer, are you going to throw rocks at her while she's dying and you're the you're the other female, you're female and female, you know what I mean? Or are you going to cry and weep and want to go over and hold her hand and touch her hair or something like that, get a little closer? I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and say hatred is the solution to same sex love situations, which exists and it's here and it's there. Okay. Now, what if it's a brother in law and it's a female? Okay. Those are in laws. Okay. They're not having the sexuality relations. Okay. What is the wrong thing to do when it comes to sexuality and in law relations? Okay. Um, Friends, do you know what I'm pointing out to you? I'm pointing out that the Bible itself was never intentionally pointing fingers at so and so. Okay. I see what celebs do. I see their interactions with so and so. And I can agree and I can also disagree. There is something called putting too many colors into the child's candy basket, put it that way. The child doesn't know right from wrong yet. And Jesus forbids people from putting stumbling blocks in front of children. And a school system to operate, even public school systems, you need to have rules and regulations. I'm sorry. But this is there, I put a video out. It's called The Woke Crowd. And I said, the woke crowd is just that. They're completely woke and they absolutely hate the next generation. They hate the elderly. They do not admit truth about certain things. Okay. Um, Now, there are situations where people can be the same age as their aunt or their uncle. Okay. And this is in the book of Leviticus. You should not relate to your aunt or your uncle. Okay. If they're biologically this way or that way, obviously. Okay. I've heard of situations where cousins have children together and they're normal. I've heard of that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I've never heard of this. This is impossible. I mean, so and so didn't get information about their relations or something, how closely related they were. That could happen. Okay. Um, I know that my own husband doesn't know if he's related to certain people because he came out of a certain family that did not have knowledge and awareness of who the half brothers are and things like that. Adoptions and other things happen. So, um, anyway, the book of Ruth is really good at pointing out that sin is the problem in Moabite conditions and in the heart. Okay, it's not the same sex love is the bad guy. Okay, it isn't. And even Jesus himself practiced same sex love. It says he loved Mary, Martha, and Lazarus in a certain Bible verse. Just look it up in the King James Version, you'll find it. So he loves more than one person. He loves a crowd of people. He has love in him. Um, but he never ever caters to the woke stuff. He absolutely forbids it. And he said that a certain community was worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. So he uses Sodom and Gomorrah as an illustration of being bad. Sodom and Gomorrah was a place where women were mistreated. There was a big brother problem. You read the Bible verses correctly, you'll see what I'm saying. So, when the celebs want to cater to Sodom and Gomorrah, don't listen to them. Don't watch them. Don't cater to them. Okay. They're elitists. They don't care about the general population anymore. But when they are saying that same-sex love is okay and normal and it's in the Bible, okay, I see where they're going. I hope you care about your close family that are of the same gender. I hope you care about in-laws of the same gender or something like that. That doesn't mean you're doing the sexual garbage with that. Okay, if you have a similar feature to a celeb in your family, fine. Okay, I sure hope you, if they're like one of the, I sure hope you don't want them to be abused in some way, like the Sodom and Gomorrah people wanted to abuse people just because they had verified features. Joseph of the Bible had handsome features, and he was about ready to be mistreated. All right, so you guys get where I'm going. I'm just pointing out that when you're doing your laundry, you cannot mix your colored laundry with your whites. You're going to end up with something. You're going to ruin a few things. Purity is in Jesus only, okay? Only him. He is the Luke chapter 7 of the Bible kind of man. He knows what he's doing. Man in the celeb world, man in our general populations, you know, there's some colorful people that have destroyed themselves under nothing, for nothing, all for nothing. Lust, it literally destroys. And there's people that need jail time. Okay. They're too extreme. They're dangerous. Okay. I think I've cleared up a lot of things with this. And I hope you understand why God's word is specific and it generates the best descriptions. God's word is perfect and it does not cater to pride. Okay. It never ever caters to pride. It points us to the one who is humble and meek and never sinned. Thank you and have a good day.